All right, let's bring up the rest of the crew here. Bring up Marty. Gonna bring up Jon here in a quick second. Our resident strongman himself, Jon Andersen here. Let's see here. So let's keep going with this here. So we're gonna jump into center stage where we take a deeper dive. Jimmy, we can swap the center stage banner up there as well. But we got fit presenter coming. Keith's literally wearing rose-colored glasses. Yeah, it's true, 100%. Can't tell 177 or 183. Yeah, the eyes are all messed up this morning. But okay, so we're going to jump into the center stage here. We take a deeper dive into our main topic of the day, and I am pleased that we have our own resident strongman in the house to talk about it. Today, we're breaking down Eddie Hall, the world's former strongest man and the first person, Jon, Marty, to deadlift 500 kilograms. Now, before we get into the science behind his body and how he manages that insane weight, Jimmy, let's roll some video here and show a footage of Eddie in action here. Now, I have this YouTube clip here I want to put up here. Jimmy, you got the YouTube clip there, brother? I'm going to get it up here going here. We're going to run about a 30-second clip here just to set the stage for what Eddie does, so we can set the stage about the world's strongest man here. Let me get, hold on a second here. There we go. Okay, we're going to go present, share screen. Jimmy, I got it coming up here, brother. All right, let's go. Let's rock and roll here. Boom. And how do I play it? There we go. All right, let's check it out.
Eddie's the one on the left side of the screen. Right here. He just approached the last stone. There he is.
Man. All right. So there's a clip on Eddie Hall there, and I wanted to put that on screen there. But Johnny, brother, you've been in the strongman world yourself, and firsthand the demands of lifting insane amounts of weight. Now, there's a recent study done about Eddie Hall's muscle structure, and it's fascinating. I want to break it down. Johnny, the study shows that Eddie's lower body muscles are almost twice the size of an average person's, Marty. From your experience, Johnny, how does that compare to what it takes to be competitive at the highest level in strongman competitions? And Jon, is it all about size, or are there other factors in play? Now, before you answer those questions, perhaps take a minute or two and set up a strongman competition. And what is it? How do you qualify and how do you win it before we go into these questions about Eddie? Jon Andersen.
So you got a little choppy, but I think you were asking about how you are qualified to get to the higher stages of competition. Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
So
let's set the stage about strongman, Johnny, for the audience.
So basically, a strongman is actually an offspring of Highland Games. That's where they wear the kilts. And it became kind of a sport of its own. But ultimately, what you've got to do is you've got to first compete at a local competition. If you win your local competition, then you can go into either a regional or a national competition, depending on your country. And then you've got to place in the top of your country, then to go compete in the international stage. And then when you're competing in the international stage, then you got to do well enough there. So it's this ladder you got to climb. And for the most part, if you're not in the top 5 or 6 of your country, you're not even really on the international radar, because when you get to the upper level, everybody was a national champion or they placed in the top 3. But for the most part, it's a really competitive thing. I know, like for me, I won my first competition as local. I went to a national, won that. Then I went to a turn pro, got my pro card, went to pro nationals, placed high enough to go international scene. And the jump between like local and national is big. The jump between national and international is quantum. You cannot explain. People think, oh man, I'm a pro now. Get ready to get your ass whooped for a while, because the dudes that are in this, it's no joke, man. And so a guy like Eddie, there's actually a documentary on him for those of you guys who want to see. It's not just training. The training is the easiest equation. Even though you see the training, you go, holy shit, I don't know if I could do that. Most people can't. But the training pales in comparison compared to the eating that's got to go down, compared to the napping and the resting, because in that world, all you're trying to do is promote your body to get stronger in any way, shape, or form. In terms of, the eating, your purpose in life is to allow your body to do the things you got to do to let your body get stronger. And then a lot of stuff that we're going to hear about in the study, I'm sure, like bone density and tendon strength. This comes from years and years of picking up really heavy shit. So if you look at our bones, right, they're under microscope, did I lose you guys? They're very porous. And so as you start to train, did you guys lose me?
No, we got you here, brother. Keep going, pal. We got you.
Okay, perfect. That's the damn hotel Wi-Fi. Anyway, but if you look at the bone, it's very porous. So lots of little holes, right? That's just the way a bone is. As when you're lifting heavy shit as a regular part of your existence for a lengthy period of time, that bone gets really dense. All those little holes start filling in. It's the body's mechanism to support all that heavy weight. Then you go to the tendons, the same thing. Tendons actually get stronger and they get thicker. And so remember we've talked about how adaptable the body is.
Yes.
When you're putting 1,000 pounds on your back and you're walking with that for 80 feet, your body's going, holy shit, that just about broke my femur. So I better make those bones a little bit more dense. And holy shit, my knees just about exploded. My tendons almost popped. So I guess I better start making these tendons a little stronger. So strongman training is very extreme. And when you put the body in extreme conditions, it will adapt very extremely. And that's basically a severe adaptation. That's what strongman is.
That's unbelievable. Marty, Johnny, the study highlights these stabilizer muscles. And Johnny, maybe you can help describe this to our audience, but the study highlights these stabilizer muscles referred to as guy rope muscles. Johnny, the guy rope muscles, they are 2.5 to 3 times larger in Eddie than an average person. Now, you're a big dude. How important are these stabilizers in terms of injury prevention and overall performance? And Johnny, where do those guy rope muscles, where are they in our legs, Johnny?
Think of it like this. I like to simplify. Yes. So when we train in the gym, we have all these very straight movements, back and forth, left and right. There's nothing straight, or everything in strongman is different angles. And like when you're in the video, we saw the guys picking up Atlas stones. They're bent over, their backs are round, which would be the wrong way to deadlift. But you're forced to do it that way to pick that thing up. And you're so basically, and like when I was in my strongman career, my back had never been so strong because I was picking up 350, 375 pound stones like you saw, but I had to bend over, round my back over a humping dog, right? For the round back when they're humping away. That's what your back looks like. You hook onto that stone and then you got to pull it up on your lap. So you're putting your back in an extremely vulnerable spot.
Jesus.
And then you got to pick up that heavy weight. So what I'm getting at, these muscles that don't get worked in these very right angled exercises are getting worked in strongman. And so think of it like this. You're basically muscles that would never really get worked are getting not only built, but the tendons, everything about them is getting stronger. It's the body's, again, it's going back to the body's adapting to all the weird shit that's happening to it.
Yeah. Hey, Marty, question for Johnny on this whole thing.
Yeah. How do you manage the traveling and getting your body right? If you're doing like international training, you travel out the country or something, you got a long flight. How do you manage that and getting your body prepared for competition? Because I know in basketball, them long bus rides and long flights is crazy.
Yeah. Here's the thing. In the strongman world, if you have excuses in the strongman world, you're not making it, period. End of story. Dude, if you want to find a reason not to get that high on the ladder, you'll find many of them along the way. And so to answer your question, there are so many times where it just doesn't work out like you think it is. We were going to the Team World Championships. This is mid 2000s. It was all the way over the eastmost point of Ukraine, right on the border of Russia, little town called Sevastopol on the Black Sea.
Yeah.
It took us, oh my God, those of us coming from California, it took us 40 hours to get there because it was like
Oh my
plane to
God.
plane, all these little connections. And it was a brutal trip to get there. So we get there, right? It's probably 5 o'clock. We get there, the hotel's probably 5 o'clock. We eat dinner. As soon as we find out we go to the sheet, which tells us what's happening tomorrow. Oh goodness, the American group's up first. And the Ukrainian team and some of the teams that are local, they're up last, which means they get to
that's
rest all
crazy.
day. We've been traveling all day. But here's the thing, especially because we're Americans. If we start saying a word, we're just the pussy Americans. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's really, you just got to realize if this is the world that you want to be in, you got to shut up, work hard, and find a way to get the job done. So this was actually, for me personally, this was like massive in helping me understand that I don't have to be in perfect conditions to perform at the highest level. Sometimes giving me non-perfect conditions will make me perform better. My first and only international win as a pro strongman, which was the North American Championships, I showed up in Canada and I had the flu. I was just getting over the flu. So I was far from perfect conditions. I basically stayed in my hotel room, missed the meetings and everything. I was wiped out. One of my teammates came and got me when it was time to go. I went into the arena and I was too sick to worry. So when it was my turn, I just went out there and performed. And I won the competition. So you start to realize that literally you start to realize no matter what's in front of you, you're still going to get the job done. And that process right there, that thought process right there of what's ever in front, you're going to get the job done. That shit is, but you can adapt that. Okay. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I was on a plane all day yesterday, but I'll still get up and kick ass. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the power of milk.
Take all that shit, move it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power of no excuses, isn't it, Marty? Go ahead, Johnny.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So that to answer your question, Marty, you just know that things aren't going to be perfect, and you realize it's okay, and it doesn't matter that it's not perfect. You're still going to get the job done, and it really frees your mind because at that point you've stuck a fucking sock in that voice that's telling you that that you're not going to do well because you didn't sleep well or you had a long flight. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna fucking get in starting blocks. I'm gonna come out like a fucking rape tape. I'm gonna get the job done. So shut the fuck up. That's what I'm telling my mind.
We're talking no excuses. We're talking and breaking down the world's strongest man, Eddie Hall, with our own Jon Andersen here, one of the world's strongest men. But this time we're gonna give you guys some fitness advice to become a strong man. And we're gonna do that with our guy, our other resident strong man, which is Christopher Martin. Marty, you ready to rock and roll, brother? Let's do it.